I don't have the answer for the Halliburton stuff. I don't know how they free him.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of is you guys have to play with more pace. Because if you play on a set offense and allow them to get back, these guys are set. But up and down, playing that random chaos Pacers basketball that like you guys can thrive in, it's the only way that you guys can compete and win. The problem with that is like OKC's so good that them playing fast pace is not easy to. They can do that. Yeah. They're that good. They're like, you want to play fast? Okay. We got guys too. We'll bring like 4 or 5 in, give Shea a break. We're just going to keep it going with y'all. Pacers can do it too. They're not as deep. They're not as good. But that's how they came back game one is they made it messy. It's just kind of chaotic.
Yeah, you could sit here and say OKC is better, deeper, more star power, all that stuff. But the Pacers have continually defied logic in basketball every series. Every series I'm like, wait, they're not supposed to win this. They're not better than this team. And they just keep... They've pretty much made me think I don't know anything about basketball.
Yeah, they just keep finding ways. They keep finding ways to just compete and get it done. 1-1 going back to Indiana. There was like a clip also of like Halliburton's girl getting into it with a fan. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
Yeah, she was talking some... I love it. I mean, you hear somebody talking crazy about your husband at some point, or I think, are they married or...
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Her man, whatever. At some point, everyone's human. You have a breaking point. Even with mine, like if I was playing a game, Adriana could hear somebody say something about me and just be like, 1, I'll let it go. 2, I'll let it go. At some point, she had to turn around and be like, hey, yo, blah, blah, you know, you got to start. Like, yo, who the fuck are you, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, she was holding it down, talking her shit. You could tell she was going like this, like, and even like the people around her, like Pacers people were like having her back. Like, you know what I mean? She is Miss Halliburton. She's with the head of the snake over there. You know what I mean? And this guy just hit a game winner in game 1. If I'm an OKC fan, it's easy until we get a stern lead on this thing. I don't know if you've seen other teams with the Pacers, but this is but we're not sure what we're watching yet.
We talked about it though. These are 2 of the best fan bases, if not. I mean, both places are. I mean, you played at both places. Are they? That's just crazy.
Yeah, that's another reason why people talk about the smart market being in the NBA. It was announced that Game 1 had the lowest views in the past 20 years. These are the things that people hear and they're like, first off, it doesn't mean it's not profitable. It doesn't mean that we didn't have a lot of views. It doesn't mean that the NBA still isn't making money. Was it more views than when Steph Curry played LeBron in the finals? No, guys. Okay? Like, relax, man. Maybe one day we can get there. If Victor becomes something and Anthony Edwards, I promise you if the Knicks were in the finals versus like Anthony Edwards, like it probably would have been box office, which is what I asked for. Now, with that being said, like you said, you just pointed out these small markets, it's really nice to see like loyal, knowledgeable basketball fans have a moment. If you've ever not been to a Pacers or OKC game, it would probably change the way you thought about each city in terms of just like their fan base as a whole. Indiana or Indianapolis, we all know is like the birthplace of basketball. It's a huge basketball city, Hoosier town, all the different variety of colleges around. There's a rich history of basketball in that city, and Pacers fans specifically are very passionate about their team. So you're very excited to see them there. OKC has a very loving, passionate, committed fan base as well. They pray before each game, which is the only team in the NBA that does that. They do an actual Lord's Prayer before the game. Everyone's respectful, quiet, locked in. There's not a lot going on in Oklahoma City. They don't have a football team. They only have their college. Right? The Sooners. It's Sooners football and Thunder basketball. That's what matters in Oklahoma. They got 2. That's their NFL team is the Sooners. They don't have a professional hockey team. They don't have a professional baseball team in Oklahoma. They don't have a professional football team. All they have is college football and college sports in general, but we all know Sooners, it's about that damn football. And then they got what they got cooking over here.
Kind of reminds me of San Antonio. I mean, all those years with the Spurs, that's one of the most knowledgeable fan bases. We talked to a Spurs fan; they're always very knowledgeable. It's like you said, they have other.
They don't have, and, because they're a small market, like it's somehow like it's the type of players they get too. It's like the whole thing. Like they are knowledgeable about the game compared to other fan bases where just like there's a lot of them can be obnoxious and just loud and yelling. Like, Philly, you can go to Philly and like someone will miss it. That guy stinks. Like they don't do that in OKC. I'm just telling you the difference. I'm not saying one's right or wrong.
Don't start a Philly beef on this podcast. We can't do that.
Listen, man. First off, I'll say it first and foremost here. Let me just be honest with you. I can give 2 fucks what anybody thinks for me from any of those cities. I don't have a problem with anybody in Philly. If somebody has a problem with me, stand in line. I've never had any.
What were your first thoughts when your dad took that job? You were like, because you know the Philly fan base is.
Yeah, I mean, but again, this isn't a knock against Philly fan base. I'm saying that's what it is.
Yeah.
I that's why I just said I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying it's different. If you check in as a 76er and you go 0 for 4 on your way back to the bench, someone will let you know. Versus on OKC, someone be clapping like, "Hey man, it's okay. Keep your head up. Another half." That's the type of energy you get with OKC, Indiana, versus like Philly, maybe even like a Knicks. Chicago, the bigger cities, you know how it can get. People be like, "Oh man, wake the fuck up! You're 0 for 4, you shit." They start cussing. You're like, it's just different. I played for the Knicks. Now I didn't play in the era where they had fans. Unfortunately, I got to play with them during the pandemic. But the inbox still works. Okay, Instagram and Twitter were still very much working. Actually, it was more present then than it was now.
People were at home.
That's all we had. They were on that
doing the push-up challenge, making banana bread, and
they send it and they don't text it. When someone from Philly or New York tweets at you, they type whatever they have to type, and they one finger. So I know I would get that. I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers. On the flip side, when you're hooping, there ain't nothing better either, though.
Yeah.
I'd rather be hooping for Philly or Indiana, or I'm sorry, New York, than hooping for Indiana. Indiana's like, good game. New York, Philly, like, all hail Brunson, he's my god. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they go extreme that way too. So it could be both sides of the fence there. So I love it for sports. You need it. You need towns like Philly. You need towns like New York. You need that.
Oklahoma City, spoiled city with all the great players and MVPs that have come through.
Sam Presti.
It's unreal.
Yeah, they've been truly spoiled. They don't even really know what a rebuild is. Their rebuild years, they still made the playoffs in the bubble.
Was like MVP Russ getting like a triple double. I mean, a couple years ago, that's how they had the number 2 pick. Chance. A couple years ago, it wasn't great, but I'm sure they went.
Fun. They went and got Shea though. Remember they had that weird team that still was making playoffs though. They weren't
didn't you play them in the bubble? Yeah.
Like Lou Dort and Schroeder and Chris Paul, and it's just a plethora of guards.
Wasn't it funny that 3-guard lineup that was only 5 years ago, and everyone was like, "Whoa, they're playing with these 3 guards." Like now it's like
now it's 4 guards.
Yeah.
Pretty soon we'll have no center. Pretty soon it's just gonna be 5 guards out there.
Unless you're like Chet Holmgren or Wemby, you can't play center.
Yeah. No,
Miles Turner.
He's gonna. Well, you saw how he's played so well that their ownership for the Pacers just came out and said we are going in the luxury tax for the first time in 20 years because Miles isn't going anywhere.
Well, that's how you know you're playing good is during the finals. I saw a report like the Pistons could be interested in Miles Turner. This team could be. I'm like,
no, everybody wants him because
he's playing right
stretch
now.
Big. By the way, this guy has been on the market for the past 2-3 years. His name was thrown around trade rumors for years.
8 years. This guy they were trying to trade him.
Where the Pacers were willing to move him, and other teams were like, eh.
The Lakers always kind of had like a little flirtation with them. Now
it's amazing what winning can do, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I gave a speech to some kids the other day, and I said, y'all want to know how to all be successful together? Because a few of you are going to be the ones with the ball in your hands playing the most. And if you win, you guys all eat. Everyone wins. Everyone wins when the team wins.
Raises all ships.
Yeah. Ooh, okay.
Well, I didn't coin that. I don't even know if I got it right.
Well, I'm going to quote it.
Yeah, there you go.
High tide raises all ships. Ooh, I'm going to take that next time.
Yeah.
Pause. And we based pretty much my speech around just like how team success can ultimately lead to whatever you wanted individually at the end of the day. They pay everybody when you win for the most part, right? So you're seeing the effect. Obviously, Miles Turner has always been a guy who's been highly regarded center, getting paid money. But now that you're in the finals, when you're a proven product of winning, even if you don't win the championship, the fact that if you're in the conference finals or finals, if you're a guy that plays a lot and your team goes that far, they look at you like, okay, he has to help and equate to winning because Miles Turner is one of the key parts of the Pacers in the finals.
Yeah.
He's a winner. Tagged. Now the Pacers owner is coming out like, we're going in the luxury tax for the first time in 20 years so we can retain him. Because, he sees it. He's on his phone just like us. And people are like, Miles Turner. He's probably like, yo, nobody taking him. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's amazing what winning can do. How this shakes out, I'm standing with what I said.
Was that OKC in 6?
I said OKC in 6.
And I said if
we're lucky, we'll get 7. I'm hopeful for 7. I would love a game 7 in the finals. I can play them a whole day around it. You know how it is. I'd wake up early, get to work. I'd be inspired. But I see 6 games realistically. And OKC just has too much, man. They go in waves of talent.